Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and this morning we're going to do KSCRAFT and we're going to be doing the gingerbread stroke cookie alphabet, and I've also done the elf and I've made the elf already, so it's the gingerbread that we're going to be doing, and it's this one, and it's quite a comprehensive set. And you get the base layers, you get the frosting pieces, you get the little wiggly squiggly frosting pieces, you get large and small kind of like pipe snowflakes. So I'm going to be using the word joy, so just J-O-Y from this set at the moment, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the size of it. I measured it, I think, on Monday. So you already know how big that is, and you can go back to the haul video to see that. And I made the elf die and I did the large one. And to help me today, I've used one of my new dies, which I haven't shared yet because I've got a new haul. And I just thought this was perfect because it's a gingerbread kind of frame set that comes with tags and snowflakes. So I'm using this twice. So let's first of all look at little Alfie. Isn't he gorgeous? He's just so sweet. I had loads of fun doing him. I put the metallic pearls on his hat. So I went gold glitter and then I went silver pearls. And then I used a kind of icy bluey green to cut the snowflakes that go on the background there, that actually come with this frame set. But I do love this frame set. It's just perfect for gingerbread. Look at his little boots. Ooh, I hope that's going to behave. And I use a little bit of white gel pen just to highlight. But he's just so sweet. And now that he's made, I will measure him before I forget. Right, so I'm going to the top of his bobble. And I'm going to say that he is 3 3/4 inches. Well, that's where I've placed his hat, and that is the height that he has come out. Now, I've already cut my base, so I've cut a plain base on which we're going to use the cookie alphabet, and this time I'm going to use it that way around. Now, what I wanted to show you, what comes in your cookie alphabet is you get a little gingerbread, and as I was saying, you get different sizes of these like frosting stripes. So I'm going to use that one. It's the largest one, and I can just put it wherever and just trim it down. And then I've used the largest of the kind of like frosting pipe snowflake. And then we've got the base layer of the O. I'm just picking them up. And there is the top layer. So you've got that little piped edge in an outer that you can cut in one colour. And then you can cut another one and take the inner out so that you've got a different colour because it layers up. So you're always going to get your lovely biscuit edge, and then you're going to get whatever colour frosting and then whatever colour centre that you decide to cut. And it's the same with the J and the Y. So that is the base of the J. That is the frosting for the J. And then you've got the base of the Y. And you've got the frosting of the Y. But you're going to see those when I go and cut them out. And also with your little gingerbread, you get a little bow. Right, so I'm going to run away and do some die cutting, and I will be right back. Right, so I've done that, and I've moved everything off my desk, and this is the base that I'd already cut that we're going to use. And there is the little gingerbread man, and I've kind of decided how I want it, and because of the loops on this, I can sort of like accurately measure the center. So that is my little gingerbread, and I'm just going through all of the little pieces that I've cut, and I'm kind of going to tie it in with my little Alfie cards because I just like the colours, only I'm going pink on this one. So we've got a little pink bow. All of these of course are going to be glued together. These are the frosting pieces, and I cut lots of them because I wasn't sure how many I was going to use. So I have got loads of these. Really simple to do. So those are all my frosting pieces. I'm just going to pop all of those there, and I cut out the little sort of like frosting snowflakes, and I did those in the craft card stock and also in the pink glitter. And I have cut out lots and lots of those too. I love the way you get the little bubble on the edge. Isn't that cute? That's a great little piece of detail. So I have actually got lots of those, but I've dropped them all over my desk. So, I'll pick those up in a second. Right, now then, the lettering, as I was saying, that is your base layer. That is your frosting layer. And then if you cut the frosting layer a second time and use the colour cardstock that you want, then you can drop that in. So if you wanted it solid glitter, or you wanted it red, or whatever colour you wanted to, and then of course our frosting pieces are going to decorate it, and then I can just trim off the long length. So that is my J, and I've kind of decided I want my J and I want my Y to go up on foam pads. They're going to be elevated, and then my O is going to go flat. So with the O, you get the little circle and you get the bigger circle. Whoops. I'll try and get that straight. Probably won't get it straight holding it up in the air. But then there's that piece there. So that is kind of going to tuck behind, and my gingerbready man is going to, kind of stick up. And my J and Y are going to be elevated slightly above that. And then, as I said, I cut out loads of the little frosty pieces, and I'm going to scatter those all over the card as well. Just kind of give it a more fuller feeling. So that's what we're going with. Right, but first of all, we've got glue stuff. So I'm just going to move my little gingerbread and shake those off, and I'll get rid of the base layer just for now. And somewhere around here, I found it, is my pickup tool. And my pickup tool is really old now, but it still works, so I refuse to get rid of it. And I've used bits of pressure and whatnot, and the wax has broken in places, but that's okay. So I've got my little dot of glue there, and I'm picking up my bow, and I'm popping my little bow on my gingerbread man. Now I hope that that is straight. So I'm going to go there. And then of course he's going to need frosting on his little arms and legs, and you can kind of like get your glue and just guesstimate really where you want your frosting. I'm going to go about there. I'm going to go there on his leg, and even though his legs are going to be hidden, I'm doing it anyway just so that you can see. I'm just going to cap my glue off again, and of course I'm going to be trimming these, but I'm just going to show you. So that can go on there. I'm going to face that one inwards. Oops. Let's get that straight. I think that's right. And if it's not, it doesn't matter. Because unless you're a perfect icer, which I am not, then your frosting is always going to be just a little bit wibbly wobbly. Right, so I'm going to cut that in half. This is why I chose to do the big ones, so that I could just, once they were dry, just go around and cut my excess bits off. And I'm going to put that bit to there and go along there. Right, I'm going to let him dry a second, and we'll come back and we'll chop his bits off. Right, so I think he's dry enough, and I'm just going to flip him over, because you can see where everything is from the back, and we're just going to snip those little bits off, and we're not going to waste them because I'm going to use them on my other bits. So I'm going to cut that piece off, make sure that's gone, cut that bit off, and then we should have our little frosted gingerbread. Isn't he sweet? Oh, it's just so lovely. I mean, that cake slice box that I made yesterday, which I've got off on my table actually. You could actually put him on there as well. He or she, whatever it is you wanted it to be, you know. Tuck him in, stick him on there. See, looks really cute. Or you could pop it on the side. Love that. Oh, wonderful. Right, I'm going all over the place now. I'm forgetting myself. Right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the O. That's what I'm going to do, because that's going to go down with this one, and my gingerbread is going to be popping out of the top of the O. So we need to glue the frosting on, and then we need to put the centerpiece in. So we'll do that one, and then once you've seen how I've done the O, the others are identical, and I'll run off and do those just to save you sitting there and you know, camera time. Because quite frankly, I just do not know what's going on with YouTube, but it just takes absolutely forever to upload long videos now. I suppose the best time to do it would probably be at night, wouldn't it? And then upload them during the night. But I don't want to say good evening. I'd rather say good morning. Right, so we've got our little circle, and now we need our big circle of frosting. So I'm just going to stick that down. And of course on the J and the Y, it's just one whole piece of frosting. So the circle is going to be 2 bits. Rather like a donut. And you could actually use this as a donut. I mean, this alphabet is just so cute. It isn't just for Christmas, really, it isn't. So we've got that on there. And then I need to, I don't know if I'm going to have some stripy bits. Yeah, I think if I'm going to put some stripy bits onto my O, they need to go on now. So I think I'm just going to go, yeah, I'm going to go here. And you'll see what I mean about doing it before you get stuck in anywhere else. And then I'm going to go here. I'm trying to get it straight. Right, so that needs to dry a second and I'll be right back. Right, so that is dry. You can see that. I do love that paper. I did actually link this paper pack, I believe, in yesterday's video. So now we've got it all trimmed up and we're going to pop it into here. Just going to get that into its circle and give it a squeeze. And I am going to pick that up. Right, so that is our first one. And if you want to put some little snowflakey bits on there, you can. And there is a smaller version of this which would probably fit either side of that circle if you wanted to. But I'm just going to leave that one with just the zigzag of frosting because I'm having my gingerbread behind it. So I'm going to leave that like that because I think that looks quite nice. Right, I'm going to go away and do the other 2 letters and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished my letters and I've actually glued my little gingerbread now behind the O. Now, as I was saying, my idea is to have that flat and these elevated in front of it so that there's enough room for them to fit on my card. Now, I've got some Dollar Tree foam pads here, so I'm just going to tear a bunch off. And what I want to do is go behind that O. So I'm quite literally going to flip that over, go into the center there, so that I'm looking a bit like that. I'm going to put one behind my gingerbread body, and I will cut a little piece for the head. Now this section here has got a little bit of adhesive on it, so I'm going to hopefully get that straight. It doesn't matter that it's kind of off at an angle at the moment, it's just about me getting it on here straight. And I think I've done it. I'm just going to hold it up and have a look. Might need to bring the Y down a little bit. You just need enough glue there, if you know what I mean. I can use that straight line on my paper to hold it in position just before you kind of like flip it over. So I'm squishing that down off at an angle, and I'm pretty sure that that's straight. I'm just going to grab my card base and pop that there. Now you can see my gingerbread isn't straight, so I'm going to pull that off and try that. Right, okay. I'm still not happy with my J. Have a look at that. It's nice because the scallop centre there allows you to get your gingerbread in the middle. Right, I'm going to go with that because I think that looks, you know, kind of cookie-ish. Like you've got a tray of gingerbread letters. Right, so I can now flip that over and lay it down, and I can see exactly now where everything needs to go. So I can come into this bit and squish that one into there. Turn that around. I'm going to, any bits that get into view, you can just trim them off. Like I might have a little bit to cut off there, and then I'm going to cut off other little pieces. So I'm just going to get my scissors, and we're going to cut some strips so that we haven't got bits, you know, flopping around on the card. And I had to look over there because I'm never really sure if I hit record. Oh dear. So that will stop that moving around, and that bit has now got a little bit of extra support. And then I'm going to cut a chunk off here and pop it down there. You just have to remember with stuff like this, people get all, you know, touchy-feely with it, so it needs to have a fair amount of support for it. So while we've got that behind, we can squash all that. Right, I'm just going to grab all the backs off those pads and I'll be right back. Right, so all the backs are off and that is all nice and sticky. And I'm just going to bring the card base up there, try and get it straight. And hopefully I'm going to be, can you see that the bit there? It's just sticking out just a little bit. I'm just going to get my scissors and cut that off, because you don't really want anything poking out. Right, so there is the joy and the gingerbready, and now I just need to get it centered up, and I think that's right. And then just to finish off, a few glue dots so that I can put some of that little frosting down just to fill any spaces. A bit like a little snowfall. I think I have one there as well. I'm just going to use my pickup tool, and I think I'm going to go pink down at the bottom in that little space, as long as I can get one. I'm going to go there. And then we've got these gorgeous biscuit coloured ones. I do love this craft cardstock from Amazon. So I'm just doing a fair sprinkle. Now, as you can you see what happens when your wax breaks and then it shoots out that end? I'm not going to complain, as long as it still works. Right, I'm going to go there with that one. And then some more pink. I do apologise, my hand's getting in the way. But I just think it breaks it up quite nicely. Kind of fills the card out. There. And I'm just going to scoot all that out of the way. Those will not be wasted. And there is our little gingerbread card with those letters on, Joy. Now, maybe I could have got it on there a little bit straighter, but you know me and my camera. I could probably lift that letter up. I mean, you know, I don't know. See, this is the kind of stuff you can do when you don't push things down firmly. And even at that point, I think it's too high. I'm probably going to go there. And now I've pushed down, so I am absolutely committed. Always have to remember that. You can pop anything down using a foam pad, and as long as you haven't pressed, you can move it. Once you press, it's kind of like there forever. So that is very, very cute. And I hope you got a close-up there. Little cookie lettering. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you could actually do individual letters in whatever colours you wanted to. Pop a little bit of tape on the back of a toothpick and you've got a stand-up sentiment on a birthday cake. So, you know, all different ways of using stuff like this. And there, of course, is the gorgeous little elf. Right. I thank you so much for joining me today and sticking with me till the bitter end. Yes, I do. And I'm going to be up with more KSCRAFT tomorrow. Have an absolutely awesome day. As usual, all links below. And I will link this kind of gingerbready frame set too. Bye.